All right, the stomach channel. So stomach 1 is directly below the pupil between the eyeball and the infraorbital ridge. So we're between the eyeball and the bone. Stomach 2 is directly below in the infraorbital foramen, directly below the pupil. So this one, if you have a model of a skull, you can actually see there's actually a decent hole right here, and we're needling into that depression. Stomach 3 is below the pupil, level with the lower border of the ala nasi. Stomach 4, the Deadman definition is 0.4 soon from the corner of the mouth. That seems a little bit silly to me. We can just go with the CAM definition, which is below the pupil, level with the corner of the mouth. So we want stomach 1, 2, 3, and 4 to be all in a line. Okay, so we have stomach 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in a line. So stomach 5 is on the anterior border of the masseter muscle. So we can feel along this ridge of the mandible, and we're coming right before the masseter muscle. So if I have her clench her teeth, then this muscle pops out and we're right in front. So stomach 6 is 1 finger breadth from the corner of the mandible. So we have the lower border of the mandible and the posterior border. It comes together to give us the angle, and then we're 1 finger breadth in. So if again I put my finger on here and have her clench her teeth, that's going to push my finger out. So we're right in the belly of the muscle there. Stomach 7 is going to be directly above it, below the zygomatic arch, anterior to the condyloid process. So we can just start at stomach 6 and come straight up. But then if I palpate here, if I ever open and close her jaw, I can feel the condyloid process, and we're going into this depression right in front of it for stomach 7. Stomach 8 is half a soon in the hairline and 4.5 soon lateral to the midline. How do we measure 4.5 soon? I don't know. So we have a couple ways we can find this. One is we can come half a soon into the hairline here, half a soon into the hairline here, and where they meet is stomach 8. Another thing we can do is come to the midline and then find gallbladder 15. So if we're directly above the pupil, half a soon in the hairline is gallbladder 15. This is 2.25 soon. So if we double it, we get 4.5 soon. So come above the pupil and then double the distance. I think the easiest way, the way I do it, is if you know where Tai Yang is, the extra point Tai Yang, you can find Tai Yang and come straight up into the hairline, and then it's half a soon back, half a soon posterior, to give us stomach 8 on the corner of the head. So stomach 9 is level with the laryngeal prominence on the anterior border of the SCM. So here we can see the SCM. With LI 18, we are in the middle of the SCM. With stomach 9, we're level with the laryngeal prominence on the anterior border of the SCM. So after stomach 9, we need to find stomach 11. So stomach 11 is just above the clavicle between the sternal and clavicular heads of the SCM. So have her turn her head all the way to the left. You can see this kind of pop out that here's the sternal head attached to the sternum. Here's the clavicular head attaching to the clavicle. We're coming in between the two. So go ahead and look back straight. Stomach 11 is going to be above the clavicle between the two heads. And then after I have stomach 11, I find stomach 9, stomach 11, and come halfway on the anterior border for stomach 10. So stomach 12 and stomach 13 are on either side of the clavicle, 4 sun lateral to the midline. So to find 4 sun, midline to acromion process is 8 sun. So we divide it in half for 4 sun. And then stomach 12 is above the clavicle in the supraclavicular fossa. Oh, I have a dot here. And then stomach 13 is right below the clavicle, 4 sun lateral to the midline. So we could say right below the clavicle or in the 0th intercostal space. So after that, we're just counting down in rib spaces, 4 sun lateral to the midline.